everybody, to the official podcast of the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office, Patrolling in Paradise. My name is Gabriella Ruiz, Public Information Officer here at CCSO, and today's episode is a little bit bittersweet. Today I'm joined by Major Jim Kenville, who very soon will be retiring after 40 years of service to the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office. Major Kenville, go ahead and say hello.
Hello.
So, Major, today I want to talk to you about exactly that. I want to talk to you about your 40-year career and just honestly just what that feels like. So first off, I just want to ask, what does it feel like to be hanging up your gun belt after 40 years of dedicated service?
I'm excited about what I have coming up. You know, I got some grandkids that I really want to spend some time with, so I'm really looking forward to that. I'm excited about that. What does it feel like to hang it up? That's the scary part. I've had a lot of time invested here. My passion is the office. You know, you always want to leave on a high note. And 40 years, you know, I look back at it, 40 years went by so fast that it's kind of hard to believe that this time. You know, I guess the unknown, I know without a doubt I'll miss the people and the job itself. But I'm looking forward to what the next step is. I want to spend some time with the grandkids. I want to be that full-time grandpa.
Oh, of course. So yeah, I bet they're looking forward to it, too.
I'm looking forward to that.
So speaking of missing it and of course 40 years, we're creatures of habit, right? You know, we have routines. And it sounds like you have, you know, plans to be that full-time grandpa, plans to kind of lay back and take it easy now. Do you have any, like, exciting, are you going to volunteer? Are you planning anything fun in that aspect?
You know, I'm not going to eliminate anything. My plan is I'm going to take a month off. I'm going to go see my grandkids in Alabama, spend some time there. And then I'm going to come home and do all the half-done projects I have at the house. And I figured that will take me through probably the first of the year. And then we see. I like to barbecue. I used to do some catering, and I'm thinking about going back into that. So that's what the plan is right now, is to go back in, do that, exactly what that's going to look like, probably a food truck and catering.
Oh, and nice.
Hopefully it'll be enough to keep me busy and I won't miss this so much.
Aw, for sure. I mean, listen, I've had some of your barbecue in the past. It is legendary. So yeah. I'm sure that will be a great adventure. It'll
be fun anyhow. You know, I'd like to be able to do a little bit of the competition stuff. That's kind of where people hear it. May have seen it. That'd be something I'd like to do, whether I do the judging or actually do the competition. And I may do a little bit of both. We'll see.
Nice. So thinking back to 40 years ago, what originally made you want to start a career in law enforcement?
Necessity.
Okay.
To be honest with you, I was 40 years ago, I was getting engaged to my beautiful wife. And we were wanting to buy a house. And we were in somewhat of a recession at the time. And I was an electrician, and I could not get a loan to get home. I didn't make enough as an electrician to get a loan for a home.
Oh, wow.
I was already on the reserves, actually, sergeant. Well, it wasn't even sergeant at the time. It was Rick Goff. He was in corrections.
Oh.
And we knew him. We were friends outside, and I was a longtime friend of his brother, and he talked us into coming on the reserves. So that would have been 40 plus years ago.
Okay.
That we did that. But anyhow, I was doing electrical work. I was trying to get home. I was getting ready to get married, and I couldn't get the loan for the home because I didn't make enough where I was working. So the sheriff's office of hiring. I've always been I was interested ever since getting on the reserves. So I applied and was hired full time.
And here we are today.
And here we are today. You know, I'll be honest with you, when I first started, I thought I'd be here 3 years.
Really?
And that was my initial plan, because I was thinking I would move on to bigger and better things, and found out I fell in love with this place and never looked back.
Oh, that's incredible to hear. And especially now being retiring as a major and thinking of all of the different units I'm sure that you've been a part of. How has the profession changed over the last 40 years?
Oh, it's here in Charlotte County, it's changed a lot. When I first came here, we were, you know, we didn't have the best reputation. Over the years, with the sheriffs that we've had, we changed that perception, and I can probably say I am extremely proud of the office, what we stand for, our core values. There's been such a change from being an agency that wasn't very well thought of to being one that's a leader in our area. That is very impressive to me, and that goes for the leadership we've had over the years. That turn that you know, changed our direction, changed that compass, and put us right in the right direction. You know, I can honestly say I wasn't crazy about doing some of the accreditation things and stuff that we had, but it changed our standards, and it changed the way we see things, and it changed the attitude and the culture in the office, and it's all been for the best.
For sure. Now, speaking of that leadership and our core values, integrity, professionalism, and trust, Sheriff Primel, at one point, you were his supervisor. A little birdie told me anyways that maybe more than once you were his supervisor. What does that feel like now, retiring with him as our sheriff?
You know, that's, I remember as a sergeant with the sheriff, and when we do evaluations, we talk about setting goals. And I remember, I still remember the day that I was asking him, I said, "What's your goals?" And he said, "I'm going to be sheriff someday." And he was fairly new. And, you know, I remember that as clear as a bell. He was a detective. And when he said that, I said, "You know, you do that and you do it for the right reasons, I can certainly support you." And I have had no regrets. He's done a fantastic job. I think he is a great sheriff.
Absolutely.
I appreciate every opportunity he's given me. I'm hoping I gave him a little bit when we were coming through. I remember we had a lot of good times. Probably he didn't have as many good times as I did in the early days, but it was all good. And I hope that I was able to impart something to him, and I certainly walk away with a lot of respect for him.
Oh, I'm sure the two of you, especially, him selecting you as a major and working alongside him all these years, it does speak volumes to the direction that our agency has gone, and you, of course, being a part of that leadership that makes us, like you said, one of the leaders for sure. Right. Now, for the new deputy that maybe just raised their right hand and got sworn in, or the recruit that is starting the academy and has all of the nervous energy in the world, I'm sure, what words of wisdom or what message would you give to them?
Boy, there's so much. The big thing is be careful of the decisions you make. If I was going to give anybody advice coming in, a new guy, don't make all your friends and all your relationships just people here within the office. Have relationships outside, whether it be your church, old friends. You got to have those relationships outside, because if your relationships are everybody here, we're kind of like-minded, and if we're not careful and we don't realize that most of the time when we meet people outside this place, we're meeting them on their worst day.
Right.
So we're catching them probably not in the frame of mind that they would normally be in. So you see the worst of them. But everybody's not a bad person.
Right.
There's, good people have bad things happen, and we got to remember that. And if we make all of our friends just the people that we work with, we forget that outside part, that you got to have that compassion for the people that you're serving.
Absolutely.
Whether we like it or not, you have to look at your priorities, and we serve the public, and we need to be doing the right thing for the right reason.
Absolutely. Even when nobody's looking.
Absolutely. So I think keeping those relationships outside are very important. Then on the inside, be very careful of what, you can hear the badness. If it's like any job, I don't care. I worked electrical, I worked in restaurants. You hear the negative all the time. Don't get wrapped up in it. Look at it for what it is, but gauge yourself. Look at things and make sure it's just not perception. It's reality, not perception. Because I don't care where you're at, you're going to find bad things that you don't necessarily like. I shouldn't say bad, but things that you don't like. But you have to look for what's positive. What are the good things that are going on? I can tell you there's a lot of good things going on here. And like I said, there's not, I never had really an issue leaving other jobs. I've had some really good bosses over the years. I can tell you the passion here. It's, nobody owes us anything. It's what we do and what you make out of it. And I can tell you, for me, this is my family outside my family.
Of course.
If that makes sense. I spend more time with folks here than I do most of the time with my family, because you figure by the time you come in and put your time in, you get called out or whatever. And over the years, I've been in positions where I got called out. So if you really look at over the last 40 years, I probably spent more time here than I did with my real family. And that wouldn't be the case if I wasn't sleeping. If we were always awake, that'd be one thing. But, when you get home, you're sleeping or you're trying to unplug. So that does take away from your family. So this a lot of times becomes your family. You got to be careful of that so you can balance it.
Yeah, for sure. That work-life balance.
Yeah.
Now, like you said, CCSO is a family. From the day you hire on here, you hear the CCSO family, and that is something that we're proud of. But you have a unique situation because your daughter is also kind of your coworker. She is not only your CCSO family, but she's of course, your daughter, your real family, and she works over in the training unit. Did you guys ever have any traditions or fun things that I'm sure you're going to miss now that?
Oh, we always do. Birthdays and special events like that, we always try to make sure we do lunch and we do that stuff. So those are things that I'll miss. I don't really know how I want to say this, but I try to stay out of the work part with her because I think it's the right thing. She needs to do things. She wants to do things on her own. I want her to do things on her own. I don't want Dad being in the shadows, and I don't want her following in my shadow. So that's been kind of touchy, but I'm proud of her. I think she does a good job. But in the same token, she's done it on her own. So I'm proud of that.
That's awesome. And it's probably...
Now, if I just get her to go to college, we'd be really doing something.
Uh-oh. I'm sure she is endlessly proud of you as well because, like I said, 40 years and being her coworker in a sense, that has to just be a really good feeling.
Yeah, it is. It is for me. Hopefully it is for her.
I have no doubt that it is. So again, speaking about CCSO family, I also have been told that you and Detective Mike Gandy are almost like brothers. Can you speak about that relationship over the years?
Oh, boy. Mike Gandy. Well, he started out as my boss when I went in investigations. He was sergeant over investigations. Then he became the lieutenant, and then he became captain. And, of course, we kind of hit roles. But we were partners more than anything. We worked some task force cases together. He taught me a lot. Of course, I can tell you this, all the detectives I've worked with, especially in the major crimes unit when we started, and that's where me and Mike Gandy probably got the closest because we worked on some cases, developed a friendship that will not be unbroken. We did catering together outside the place.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we J&M's R&S, what we used to call it. But no, he taught me a lot, as well as did everybody else in Major Crimes. Everybody had a unique thing. And one of the things, and you'd asked me earlier, and I'll get back to Mike, but you'd asked me earlier what I'd tell a new deputy is you'll learn something from even the supervisors you didn't think were the greatest. You know, we all have that one boss that maybe we didn't connect with, but I've always learned something from everybody that I worked with, even the ones that weren't so great. I learned things. If nothing else, I learned what I didn't want to do. But you learn something from everybody, and not everybody's way is the right way for you. And now I go back to Mike now. Mike, when we work cases, he could go into a scene and say the same exact thing I said, and people would love him. They would just take it and accept it. I could turn around and say the same exact thing, and they'd be mad as a hornet at me. And I could never, you know, it amazed me how people's perceptions are. But, you know, I said, well, I just said what he just said. And they were fine with that. But when I said it, I was bad. So, but those were things that come up. It just, it made you realize that everybody's a little bit different. And Mike he's the constant gentleman. He is probably one of the most analytical people. You think he's not with you, and he's all over top of it. He's already 5 steps ahead of you in what you're thinking. So I give him a lot of credit for what I do and what I've been. And as far as investigations, he taught me a tremendous amount during investigations. And we did a lot of stuff outside, you know, and we did the catering together. We became very close friends. Really, you know, he is like a brother. I guess the easiest way to say is we are very close when it comes to that. If I have something's bothering me to this day, I still call him and run it by him and say, hey, what do you think about this? I had that with a few people. Colonel Bonsall, who used to be here, he was another one that I could call, and if I had something that was puzzling me, it was work related, I could run it by him. And it was nice to have that feedback and have somebody that you trusted what they were telling you, and it made you think. And that's what both of those guys did. The best story I can tell on Mike is when he retired the first time. We were going up there. Mike is a pretty private person. He doesn't like to have a lot of hoopla, and we're kind of similar in that fashion. But he wasn't going to have any kind of retirement, nothing. And Major Libby, who was here, wanted to throw him a retirement thing. And so I told him, I said, you know what I think? I think the best thing we could do is we go ahead and hire him to do a cook or event for you, and we'll just make him cook for his own retirement. And that's what we did. And Mike was very, very upset with us over that, but that was probably one of the funnier things and the best prank I pulled on him all the years.
You don't think he might try to return the favor?
Oh, I suspect he might, yes. I've been trying to watch for that. But,
okay.
But I'm not cooking, so far it's good. I'm not cooking for my own. So, but, yeah, we had a lot of fun over the years. We did a lot of fishing. But, you know, work-related, we had a lot of fun.
For sure.
Made the job fun.
It sounds like being a part of investigations with him was perhaps maybe one of the more rewarding parts of your career.
Well, investigations, I think, was both of our passions. So I think we had that in common. If you knew much about me, investigations were where I thrived. That was the area I loved. I loved beating the bad guy at their own game. I loved getting the getting them to tell me things that they didn't want to tell me. Whether they told me the truth or told me a lie, I was all right with that as long as I was getting what I needed to get the case and be able to show what they did. So that chase, I don't think that ever left. You still like to do that. I probably drive the guys these days, maybe not so much now, but as I was coming up through the ranks, I probably drove them crazy because I was very much hands-on. I like to see what was going on. It's not that I didn't trust them, I didn't think they were doing. We got some of the best investigators I think I've ever worked with. I see these guys today, and what they can do with the new technology is crazy.
Yeah.
I hands down to those guys. They are sharp. We're lucky. This sheriff's office and this community are lucky that we have the people we have right now. They are. I'll put them against anybody out there. They're really, really sharp, and it's my passion. I always did like investigations. I'd probably drive them nuts because I like to go out there and see what's going on. I'm nosy when it comes to that, but I just really like to be there, hear what's going on, see what's going on. But I can tell you today, investigation is completely different than when I started, and I'm proud of these guys.
For sure. It's in your blood. It's a part of who you are.
Yeah.
So if there were room on the cold case squad, would you ever come back?
I'll never say never. It gets in your blood. Because I think if I look at Mike Gandy and the team that we have in the cold case, we're lucky to have them. They have that passion. They love what they do. I love what they do. I've been in administration long enough that I'm not doing it all the time. So I'm not going to lay there tonight or when I retire, wonder what's really going on with that. I think, we'll see.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping at this point I'm programmed enough where it's not going to bother me that much. But I'm not going to say never because it's still in my blood.
Of course.
And I wouldn't be surprised that someday I may come in, volunteer, or go stick my nose in. But, when I leave, I'm not going to be gone. I'm hoping that I'll always be welcome to come and get a cup of coffee.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
I have no doubt. I know that I speak for the entire agency that a cup of coffee, a hello, this place is your home.
Yep.
And I also have no doubt that the cold case guys would probably gladly clear off some desk space to make room for you.
Well,
so
you never know.
well,
No,
Detective Gandy at least.
No, I think the whole crew, we got a great crew back here, and I certainly wouldn't want to come interrupt what they're doing. I think they do an awesome job. We're lucky to have them.
Yes.
I don't think you could have any, I look at the whole investigative team. You have people that have passion for what they're doing, and that's what makes them good at what they do. And the three guys we got in cold case right now, they have passion. Those guys probably work harder than most people. They work part-time. They're working, as far as I'm concerned. They don't quit when they go home. If you know those guys, and I've been on their text group, those guys are pushing things back and forth all day long, all night long. These guys, just because they go home doesn't mean they quit. They're still doing stuff. They still talk back and forth. It's in their blood. Mike, I think you'll wheel him out of here someday. I think it's where he'll be until the very end. But, and I congratulate them for that. I give them credit for what they do. Those guys work hard at what they do. And they, I call them the old guy squad. I guess I'm one of them now. But, that whole crew, like I said, all investigations, I can't speak one over the other. Those three guys are definitely for what they do, and they work part-time, but they work more than part-time. If you really, those guys just don't quit.
Yeah.
They think about when they're at home. If you run into them, they're talking about cases.
But on the same token, when you love what you do, it doesn't really feel like work.
And that's true. I've always heard, and my dad used to tell me the same thing: if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. Well, I loved what I did, and I really didn't feel like I worked that much. So,
well, Major, do you have any last messages or things that you'd like to say to the community after 40 years?
yeah, I probably get going on it, but I loved what I did. I appreciate the opportunity to have done what I've done. I'm gonna miss it, and we'll see what the next chapter brings. Maybe I will be back in Cold Case. We'll see. But right now, I'm gonna go enjoy a long vacation, and I want to spend some time with my grandkids, and then we'll see what happens after January.
We'll see.
All right.
Yeah, and I'm so excited for you because those projects at the house, time with your grandkids, that stuff is worth more than anything. So I'm so excited that you get to enjoy that time and take those trips and just relax.
Yep. With the job I put, I can tell you early on the job, sometimes you take time away from your family. But now it's time I don't have to do that. It's time to start doing the things I didn't get to do earlier. So hopefully we can make up some time.
For sure. Well, Major Kenville, like I said earlier, I know I speak for all of us here at CCSO. This place is your home. This place is your family, and we are all going to miss you. And we certainly hope that you won't be a stranger and you'll stop by and say hi from time to time.
Oh, you can bet on that.
We'll keep the coffee hot.
All right.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning into this episode of Patrolling in Paradise as we wish Major Kenville a happy, happy retirement.